evening everybody, how are you all doing? I hope you're having a good week so far. So today is Thursday, 6th of February 2014, and wow, how about last night's episode, eh? Oh my god, episode 13 titled Heir to the Demon. We meet Nissa Al Ghul, or Nissa Khatkul, I believe it's Khatkul, K-A-A-T-K-O, the daughter of Ra's Al Ghul, and she's come to Starling City to get pretty much, tell Sarah Lance that she can't escape the League of Assassins. She can't leave the League of Assassins. Ra's Al Ghul demands that she returns immediately. So there's that. We also have Moira eventually accepting the she has a campaign for her election, the running for going up as mayor against Sebastian Blood. It's a very interesting conversation occurs between Felicity and Moira, of which because Felicity found something out regarding the Tempest, she tells Walter. But she decides also to confront Moira about it, and let's just say Moira, last season's Moira has returned, basically, is all I'm going to say. Not a woman you want to go up against, that's all I'm going to say. And there was a little, well, I say little, but it was pretty intense tete-a-tete against Moira and Sebastian, and it was almost as if Sebastian was trying to threaten her in some ways, but Moira stood her ground. And I have to say, I can't wait to see how that battle pans out. But towards the end of the episode, regarding Moira, obviously when Sebastian went to see Slade, Slade basically said to Sebastian, "I warned you not to, go up against Moira," and he said he's going to deal with her himself. But I had an epiphany today, right? And I wrote this somewhere. I basically said that what if Slade and Moira both team up? What if Slade decides to use or join or somehow coerce Moira into joining him in the same manner of how Malcolm Merlyn did last season, to not only get her to become mayor, but to also drive out Sebastian Blood? That's just a theory. It's just an epiphany that I had. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not going to dive too much into it, but who knows? Laurel. I'll get to Laurel in a moment, because what I'm going to say about Laurel involves Sarah, and also involves that. In fact, it involves the Lance family as a whole, because this episode also featured flashbacks to 6 years ago, to before Sarah's death on the Queen's Gambit with Oliver, and we actually find out that she's returned from college on a 3-day weekend break. She surprises the family, so she's back home with Father Quinton, her mother Dinah, and of course sister Laurel. But then we see that she's texting Oliver at the same time. Then there's a conversation that goes on between Sarah and Laurel discussing Oliver, and how Laurel's looking forward to moving in with Oliver, and might get married, this, that and the other. And then you can see Sarah's face. She's like, really, you think that's going to happen? You don't even know him that well, you have no idea what's really going on, kind of thing. So that was quite telling for the pair of them. Then obviously, as I say, because it was 6 years ago, it was announced that Oliver had been, Oliver and Robert Queen had both been, apparently killed deserted on the Queen's Gambit, and then Moira comes to visit the Lance household to let both Laurel and Quinton know that Sarah was also on the boat with Oliver and Robert. So yeah, from that day on, and this is where we come to present day. From that day on, it causes a life of hell for Laurel. Those are not my words, those are Laurel's words. And I say that because in this episode, something happened that nobody expected. Okay, and this is where it's a major spoiler alert, by the way, guys. So major spoiler alert coming up right now. I can't believe this even happened, but this changed the dynamic completely. Not just for the show, but for all comic book TV series that have either been done before or are yet to come, when Nissa met up with Sara, we thought she was going to kill her. In fact, she didn't. They kissed. And I mean, not just like a little kiss on the cheek kind of thing, or a little peck here and there. No, a full-on kiss, like they were lovers. Now, if you remember back to episode 5, I believe it was, of season 2, Sara tells Oliver about how she had a, beloved, but we had no idea who this beloved person was. It was none other than Nissa herself. So that shocked everybody, not like in a bad way, but in just like a, oh my god, wow, didn't see that coming. And there's an interview that was done by the producers, Berlanti, Guggenheim and Kreisberg, about explaining the backstory between Nissa and Sara. I'll link it at the bottom so you can have a read of it, because it really does explain how they came about and what the secrecy behind that particular scene in particular, how they had to keep that so well tight-knit that nobody knew what was coming. Yeah, it's just incredible. And don't forget Black Canary. Gail Simone once wrote her in Birds of Prey, along with Huntress and Lady Black Hawk, and I think even at one point, oh my god, Lady Shiva might have been involved. So yeah, so there's a lot of characteristics that have been brought on from what Gail Simone has done with Black Canary, and it shows. This episode shows that characteristic about Black Canary in particular. And I think, if I remember correctly, there is a point in the comics where both Nissa and, well, I say Nissa, but more Nissa and Black Canary as opposed to Dinah Lance, have had a closeness. If I remember correctly, I'm sure there is. So yeah, so because of that, as I say, Nissa wants Sara to join her back in the League. Sara says she doesn't want to go. She's going to stay here with her family. That breaks Nissa's heart. And what does Nissa do? Go after one of the people that Sara cares about so much, her mother. Dinah gets captured. Dinah sees Sara for like the first time in Lord knows how many years, and yeah, fight ensues between Oliver and Nissa. It was pretty cool, by the way. Bow and arrow going up against bow and arrow, pretty slick. Sara does something unexpected to make Nissa feel guilty and feel bad, of which then Nissa renounces Sara from the League. The reason why Sara wanted to be renounced from the League because Raz did it to Malcolm Merlin, and then Nissa then replies, well, something that he actually deeply regrets doing. So Raz did not want to renounce or excommunicate Malcolm from the League. So when eventually Nissa does set Sara free, I mean, she's now home. And at the end, her and Oliver, they got together. They got it on. But before that, this again, as I know I'll be going into a tangent, but Laurel. Now, when Laurel eventually realises and finds out that Sara is alive, she goes back to the Lance household, sees Sara there with her dad and with their mum as well. Sara goes straight for the wine bottle, and you can just see her mannerisms, that she just really doesn't care, but at the same time is upset, completely. I don't know how to describe how she felt when she saw Sara, but she's there and she's basically telling Sara that it's her fault that her life has been a living hell, that from the day that she got on the boat with Oliver, that was the moment that Laurel's life went, tits up. And it kind of gives you that glimpse that you see that Laurel's life right now is going to go so far down. How she's going to get back up is going to be a mystery and a miracle, is all I'm going to say. So it's affected her in a big way. She doesn't want to see Sara ever again. So yeah, it was a very interesting episode. So just to round off though, just to finish off before I go, I just want to also talk about what happened between Oliver and Moira. Because as I mentioned earlier, Felicity went up against Moira to confront her about, you know, she knows about Thea. Felicity was able to get all that information herself from the investigation that she did regarding the connection to Tempest. So Felicity tells Moira, Moira threatens Felicity. Felicity feels really, really threatened as such that she actually does tell Oliver. And as I say, towards the end of the episode, Oliver basically tells his mother that he wants nothing to do with her. He will support her in her campaign to become mayor in the public eye, and for Thea's sake, he will also, you know, interact, but just between them two, as far as he's concerned, he no longer has a mother. And Moira, you've never seen Moira's world shatter around her so hard and so fast. It was just incredible. How she's going to come up from that is going to be interesting, and how Oliver is going to continue as well. The connection, the relationship between those two is going to be interesting. And as I say, this is where I think Slade is going to come in. So who knows? We'll see. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. See you all very soon. Bye.